JBN, we keep you informed. Mother and daughter murdered in Eltham Park, Spanish Town. A woman and her daughter were murdered at their home in the community of Eltham Park in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Sunday night, July 28. They are 37-year-old Winsome Williams and her 23-year-old daughter Danelia Carnegie, otherwise called Bun. Reports from the police's corporate communications unit are that the two were pounced upon by gunmen who opened gunfire, hitting them several times. The shooting took place about 9:10 p.m. Williams and Carnegie were pronounced dead at the hospital. Cocaine worth $13.3 million seized a container terminal for arrested. The police are reporting the seizure of 10.2 kilograms of cocaine, which they say is an estimated street value of $13.3 million. 4 persons were arrested in relation to the find. The police say the seizure was made on a vessel at a container terminal in Kingston on Sunday. It is reported that 3:15 a.m. a vessel arrived in the island at container terminal on Saturday, July 27 from Colombia with cargo. According to the police, while the containers were being offloaded by stevedores, 8 packages of cocaine were found in the possession of one of the stevedores by members of the team. The police and the Jamaica Customs Contraband Enforcement Team were contacted. They say a search of the vessel revealed an additional 10 packages of cocaine concealed under the spare anchor on the bow. The police say 4 stevedores were taken into custody. However, their identities have been withheld pending further investigations. St. Mary man dies after being struck by car. A 23-year-old man died on Sunday, July 28, as a result of injuries he received when he was hit by a motor car on the White River Main Road in St. Anne. The deceased has been identified as Dennis Richards of Tower Isle, St. Mary. According to police reports, Richards was allegedly attempting to cross the roadway shortly after 9 a.m. when he was struck by a motor vehicle traveling towards St. Mary. The authorities were alerted and was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police said the driver of the vehicle was warned for prosecution. Investigations continue. Man gets 6-year prison sentence for double killing. A St. Catherine man who stabbed an elderly woman and her son to death has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for the double killing. Jeffrey Campbell, 43, was sentenced in the St. Catherine Circuit Court last Thursday by Justice Christiania Brown Beckford. A week earlier, Campbell pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter in relation to the deaths of Winifred Williams, an 80-year-old returning resident, and her son Michael Williams, 58, at their Linstead St. Catherine home in November 2013. Prosecutors had a caution statement Campbell gave investigators, detailing how he used a knife to kill the elderly woman before turning to her son after they refused to pay him the agreed sum for repair work he had done on their home. Brown Beckford, in explaining the sentence, said she started at 18 years at hard labor, adding 3 years to the usual 15-year term because there were 2 victims, the manner in which they were killed and the fact that several household items were stolen. But the judge indicated that she gave Campbell a 35% discount, 6.3 years, for his early guilty plea and shaved off the 5 years and 7 months he spent in custody awaiting trial. Jamaica's chief prosecutor Paula Llewellyn told family members that the guilty plea to manslaughter was accepted because there was legal provocation. Llewellyn declined to comment on the sentence, but pointed out that in Jamaica's judicial system, prosecutors are not allowed to address the court during sentencing and do not have the right of appeal. Unlike defense attorneys, we do not have the right to address the court to urge certain aspects of the victim's story. We can only outline the facts and indicate whether we accept a plea, she said. We are in a straitjacket, said Llewellyn. Among the evidence prosecutors had in their possession were the results of the 2 post-mortem examinations. According to one of the reports, Michael was stabbed a dozen times, including 7 times to the neck, while Winifred died from 3 stab wounds to the neck. Campbell told investigators that Williams contracted him to repair the kitchen at her home, but refused to pay him after he completed the task. In the caution statement Campbell gave investigators, He said that the elderly woman insisted that she would rather die before she paid him the money he demanded. He admitted to holding the weapon at Winifred's throat before he found himself pushing the knife into her neck. Campbell acknowledged too that when Michael told him he had no money to pay him, he got more and more angry and stabbed him. The police report that Michael was found with his hands and feet bound by electric wire. Another boy drowns in St. Thomas. The body of a teenage boy who was suspected to have drowned in St. Thomas on Sunday was retrieved from the sea on Monday morning by two fishermen in the vicinity of the Morant Bay fishing village. He has been identified as 17-year-old Ronaldo Livingston, a student of the Seaforth High School and the community of Johntown in the parish. The police say about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, Livingston and his friends were swimming at the beach at the Morant Bay fishing village, and he reportedly developed difficulties while in the water. They say efforts to save him were unsuccessful and that his body disappeared. Livingston's drowning comes on the heels of another similar incident less than a month ago. In that case, the body was a 12-year-old boy who also was fished from the sea a day after he was suspected to have drowned. NEC members of the PNP clash over list for September elections. The People's National Party PNP's two-day National Executive Council NEC meeting was transformed into a battleground this past weekend as allies of incumbent President Dr. Peter Phillips peppered their opponents over the delegates list, which has been submitted for the September 7 leadership showdown. The stage was set on Saturday's first day of the meeting as supporters of challenger Peter Bunting and some of Phillips' followers positioned on the corridor leading to the NEC meeting venue at the University of the West Indies Mona engaged in test exchanges. On Sunday, when Phillips entered the venue, he was greeted with chants of "One PNP, One Peter," and he responded by punching the air with a clenched fist. Phillips is running his campaign under the theme "One PNP, Powerful Together," while Bunting has taken the Rise United slogan. Tempers flared after the leadership of the National Workers' Union, NWU, was accused by Phillips supporter KD Knight of hatching a bogus delegates list for the presidential election. The list has 64 names, and members of the Phillips camp says that among them are people with no affiliation to the NWU. But Granville Valentine, NWU president, is insisting that the list can stand up to scrutiny. Overall, the preliminary delegates list presented to the leadership contenders on Friday comprises 2,800 voters. Knight said that he will be waiting to hear from the PNP Election Monitoring Committee as to when the One PNP team would have an opportunity to present his case, but made it clear that he was taking the matter very seriously. "I would pursue one delegate," Knight said. On Sunday, as the infighting continued over the delegates list, some NEC members also accused Bunting's Rise United camp of hijacking the delegates list presented by the Patriots, the young professional arm of the PNP. That list comprises nearly 40 delegates. On Sunday, Dr. Dayton Campbell, the campaign manager for Rise United, was echoed by supporters of the One PNP camp who accused him of being disrespectful to Phillips. "Some comrades felt that you should not have called the leader a puppy show," said one NEC member, but in response, Campbell said he did not say that Phillips was a puppy show. "I made the point to say, do not allow the people around you to turn you into a puppy show. Me never call him a puppy show. I never would," Campbell later explained. The feisty Campbell further told his detractor that he would not be silenced or intimidated, as he was a legitimate member of the NEC. Neither Phillips nor Bunting intervened in the fracas that erupted at the NEC over the delegates list. Loaded Eagle soars to Festival Song victory. Raldene loaded Eagle Dyer soared above 10 contestants to win the Jamaica Festival Song Competition at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Centre in Kingston on Saturday night. The singer also walked away with sectional prizes for Best Vocalist and Best Performer. Loaded Eagle said he put in hours of preparation for the competition and is overjoyed at the win. "As a child, it was always my dream to enter, and now it's like my dream come true," he said. I have worked hard for this. I have put in the work. Every morning I get up and run, do my exercise. This is such a great moment, and I just want to thank everybody for do this for me, he continued. Loaded Eagle took home more than $2 million in cash and prizes. His song, Big Up Jamaica, is the official soundtrack for the Jamaica 57th Independence Anniversary celebrations. This win is very special to me. What's even more special about it is that me make my whole parish proud. Not only my parish but the whole of Jamaica and people all over the world, Loaded Eagle said. Hailing from Steertown in St. Anne, in 1998 he entered the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission's Performing Arts National Finals. As a member of Cosby Kids in the dance category, they won first place. In 2005, he started his solo career as a singer with the song Nowadays. Unable to contain their joy, members of his team rushed onto the stage when he was announced the winner. Audience member Janelle Brown said although she was not there to support Loaded Eagle, she was satisfied with the outcome. His performance really was energetic, and the crowd really loved it. I mean, I really wanted Jay Smith to win, but that's just how these things goes, she said. Another patron, Justin Jones, was impressed with the show. This year's staging was definitely better than last year. A lot more effort went into production. That, paired with a bigger band and a larger cash prize, made the show really good. There were some issues with hearing all the performances, but it was a good show, she said. Second place went to Alaria Alibless Perrier with her song Queen Jamaica, while third place went to Jerome J. Smith with Embassy Appointment. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.